So Tyler Hero hits a clutch three-pointer in overtime to make it a 2-point game against the Hornets. But LaMelo takes it, throws the ball away. Then he fouls Hero on a three-pointer. LaMelo choke job of epic proportions, throwing their season away. But of course, Hero makes all 3 free throws. Hornets need a game winner, so LaMelo feels zero pressure, easily takes it to the hoop, wins the game. Heat eliminated, Hornets advance. Oh, the entire LaMelo Ball experience wrapped up in 2 possessions. But the real controversy happened earlier in the game. Second quarter, LaMelo falls, and in the scrum, clearly trips Bam Adebayo on purpose. Bam hurt his tailbone so bad, done for the night. The Heat's best player out early in a 1-point game to end their season? That is terrible. Now listen to what Heat coach Eric Spoelstra said after the game.
That's a shame. He should be penalized for that. I don't think that belongs in the game. He should have been thrown out of the game, for that.
Interesting. So he says LaMelo should have been tossed, but that's about it. The much harsher words came the next day from one Nick Wright.
That young man is a clown and has been a clown forever and will never not be a clown.
Wow, that is harsh. But would anyone really disagree? Oh, that's right, his dad LeVar.
Has Nick Wright ever looked in the mirror? I bet you if you look in the dictionary right now and you look up a clown, you're gonna see 2 things. One, it's gonna be somebody with some long hair on the sides and a big nose. Yep, that's Nick Wright.
And of course, the internet on LeVar's side. These dorks have gotten way too comfortable talking crazy behind keyboards and TV cameras. Oh, and I'm sure the guy who runs that X account, who talks about NBA players, isn't also a dork behind a keyboard. But the next day, Nick Wright goes on TV dressed as a clown. Why? Because he thinks, look, the word clown isn't that big of a deal, but some people are triggered by that word specifically. Like Lonzo, who said Nick Wright a bum. So okay, don't call him a clown. Call him an immature man-child then. Who cares about the word? The fact is, everyone knows what LaMelo is at this point. After the win over Miami, for example, LaMelo, celebrating with his teammates, straight right hooks the team mascot twice, and the mascot falls away, which may be the funniest NBA video that I have seen in a long time. But it's kind of clownish, right? But we finally had a loss on Prize Picks. You know it was gonna happen. We had won like 9 out of 11 picks. However, the playoffs are here. I love playing Prize Picks. Not to win cash, but to make these games 10 times more fun. And the playoffs is my best time of the year to play. I love how easy the app is to use. You just pick more or less on a few players' stats and you get your picks in. Sit down, enjoy that game. So my 2 picks for tonight. First is Jalen Suggs and Con Knipple. We're gonna go more on their combined made threes. And then Steph lower on his assists. And best of luck if you're tailing those picks. Prize Picks available in all these states. No better time to sign up than right now with the playoffs. If you use code AMHOOPS, that helps out the channel like nothing else. It also helps you. Code AMHOOPS, you play just $5, you get $50 in lineups, instantly win or lose. Or better yet, here's LaMelo when asked what Thanksgiving food he likes, because it was the holiday.
I mean, I got the chicken, the turkey, ham, shit, what else I'm fucking with? Nah, that's about it. Maybe some other shit.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Cobbler.
Okay.
Yeah, the dessert. Yeah. Okay. My girl be making that, be smacking for sure.
Yo, that is funny, but you can't call it mature, okay? He's not like an adult out there talking like LeBron or Steph Curry with like a family and a wife at home. Or how about the entire compilation of videos of dude running red lights in his sports cars? Or when he was in the other lane causing a car crash. Or how he's being sued for running over an 11-year-old's foot. Even as hilarious and childlike as Anthony Edwards is, LaMelo is on a whole nother level below that. But this has been a pattern for him on the court as well. People immediately found this video of him doing almost the exact same thing to Jabari Smith Jr. 2 months ago. This is just what LaMelo does. So the NBA decided to assess LaMelo a $60,000 fine and a flagrant 2, but no suspension, which is good. It would have sucked for him to be out against Orlando in the other play-in game. But $60K is nothing to a guy who makes $40 million per year. I mean, you saw this man's car collection. But that is the big problem for LaMelo and the Hornets. How far can they actually go when their best player is a 6-year vet who acts like a high school kid? And I know that's harsh, but we just showed all the examples before, and there's like a ton more we didn't show. When has this ever worked in pro sports, let alone the NBA? And I'm not gonna pretend like he's not a genius on the court. That's why we're even talking about him. I mean, his three-point shooting is unlike anything you will see in basketball. He is taking 1-foot fadeaway shots. Look at this step back on his tiptoes, showing elite court awareness and flat out skill. But at the same time, this is the guy who will try an insane shot that has absolutely no chance, but then swoop in to save the play with a hustle rebound. It's the LaMelo Ball experience, and his confidence that he has off the court shows up on the court too. Dude will take some wild shot from 30 feet out when he's missed his last 7 shots, but he'll take it with all the swagger in the world. That is a one-of-a-kind, genius-type player, but can you win with it? I mean, if you look back at all of NBA history, the answer so far has been no. Let's look at the last 25 number 1 type players on a championship team. SGA, total adult. Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Jokic, boring as hell. Man loves horses. Steph and LeBron, family man. Honestly, you'd have to go all the way back to Shaq in 2006 with the Miami Heat. It was either him or D Wade that were the dominant force on that squad. But Shaq is actually a decent comp to LaMelo. Shaq was goofy as hell, and he still kind of is. He didn't take himself or the game too seriously. Sure, he respects the greats and the NBA as a whole, but he was famously out of shape during the season, didn't try too hard on defense. Like, you know that old saying about, oh, don't cheat the game? He cheated the game all the time, but he still won. The difference with Shaq, though, is that he kind of had a mean streak in him, too. Like his beef with Kobe or with Penny. LaMelo feels lighter and more harmless, but also, Shaq was a much better player than LaMelo. I don't care how good LaMelo is, Shaq was on another level. I mean, Shaq was in the best player alive territory while he was in his prime. LaMelo doesn't have that kind of wiggle room. And that's why this even matters, right? The Hornets are finally getting good enough for this to affect them. I mean, before, all of the LaMelo antics were just kind of funny, right? They didn't really matter because the games didn't matter. But what happens when the games really count? I mean, you can act like a high school kid when the games are meaningless, but what about in the playoffs? Is it a coincidence the first big game for Charlotte, after they broke through, the very first big game, and LaMelo's maturity becomes a huge topic? What happens when the game get even bigger and bigger than that? You would want that guy to be your second or third best player, not your number 1 guy. This is like having J.R. Smith or Nick Young Swaggy P be the number 1 player on your team. Not exactly something you feel confident about. Well, guess what? That's where we are with the Charlotte Hornets right now, and it can become a huge problem that holds them back. I mean, as they become more and more of a factor in the East, as we all hope they will because they're such a fun team, this will start to be a major handicap. Like, yes, they are a good team, but not a true contender because LaMelo is their number 1. And once again, it sounds harsh, but it's the truth. From the crazy shots that he takes to how he acts off the court. I mean, these guys who win it all usually show extreme discipline and sacrifice. Or at the very least, if he is a Shaq, he needs a Kobe. Somebody who's going to be the adult in the room to counterbalance his personality and make that championship possible. That is what we need to see for LaMelo. But speaking of fun young teams, the Dallas Mavericks got a lot out of Cooper Flagg this year. He might be even better than people predicted. Now it's up to Dallas to build a contender around their number 1 pick. So I broke down the entire situation and what they plan to do this summer.